All right, let's go to Module 13, Chapter 18. Go to page 503. We're going to talk about renal stones. They're also called urolithiasis, calculi, or kidney stones. All the same thing. So when it asks you what's the most common type, it wants to know what the stone is made of, what's its composition. So on page 503, let me turn back there. I was there. 75% are made up of calcium salts. Now that could be calcium phosphate, oxalate, or carbonate. That's just the most common that they find. So what's the most common cause? It can be caused by hypercalcemia or too much calcium in the urine. It can be caused by parathyroid tumors or metabolic disorders, but the most common cause is dehydration. Think about Texas. It's 110 degrees. It's humid. People sweat profusely. They don't drink enough fluids. All right, possible complication for this is there's an obstruction once that kidney stone blocks the urine from coming out, and you're going to have urine backed up into the kidney, and that is going to cause hydronephrosis. That can actually lead to ischemia and necrosis for the area that's being compressed, so it has to be treated. All right, let's move on to urinary tract infections, page 499-500. So your most common organism for a UTI, which whether it's pyelo or cystitis, whichever, is E. coli. And that's because of the ascending bacteria from the perineal area. So pyelonephritis, the difference between the two is that pyelonephritis is an infection in the upper urinary tract, in the kidneys themselves, usually, as we said, from that ascending bacteria. Now, cystitis would be the bladder infection or inflammation of the bladder, and that's from the lower urinary tract. All right, let's look at polycystic kidney disease. This is a genetic disorder. I don't know if I told you what page that was on. Just a second. Okay, page 507. Usually the person doesn't really start seeing this manifest until they're about 40. At that point, they end up in chronic renal failure and most of the time require dialysis and even kidney transplants. So the name kind of tells you what it is. There's these cysts that develop on the kidneys and they enlarge and they actually compress the kidney tissue and destroy it. It can't, and then it doesn't function like it's supposed to. So finish up chapter 18 and take your quiz, and you only have one more module to go. Yay!